Good evening and welcome to the September 3rd Council meeting. If you'd please stand, Councilman Lucio is going to lead us in the flag salute this evening.
Please put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Please be seated. We have a special recognition this evening of the Congressional Medal Award recipient. We're honored to have Congresswoman Norma Torres, who represents the 35th Congressional District in California, joining us this evening. In addition to advocating on behalf of Chino and the rest of her district at the federal level and providing federal funding for Chino projects, Congresswoman Torres makes it a priority to recognize outstanding individuals in her district. Tonight, she joins us to present the Congressional Gold and Silver Medals of Honor to a very special City of Chino resident. I'd like to call up the Congresswoman this evening, and also Eric Kim, a Chino High student, and his family. Do you have your family here? No family?
He has no family, Mayor, because he thought it was a telemarketing call. And because, of course, their member of Congress would not be calling them to say they've earned a medal. And so it was a surprise to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Mayor and Council, a distinguished citizen of the city of Chino here, he has earned a silver congressional medal and a gold medal for volunteering in his community. Silver medal is for volunteering 200 hours and gold medal for volunteering 400 hours in this community. So So Eric, on behalf of Congress, the U.S. Congress, I present you with 2 medals. Thank you for volunteering in the community. And from my district office, here is a certificate for you also. Good luck handling those 3.
We also have a certificate of congratulations, Eric. Congratulations on receiving the 2024 Congressional Gold Medal for your initiative, service, and achievements. The City of Chino recognizes your many hours of volunteer service, personal development, physical activity, and expedition exploration. Tell us about how you won these medals.
Honestly, it was kind of all thanks to my parents because they signed me up for a lot of stuff, but I kind of ended up enjoying it too, though, which is, I guess, a good thing. And yeah, that's kind of
So
it.
your parents signed you up. What kind of things did they sign you up to?
They signed me up for a bunch of volunteering, like groups, and then we went to parks, for example, cleaned up, and then also such things as violin. That was kind of my option too. Okay. And for physical fitness was football. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And I'll tell you, you have set quite an example for your fellow students. So congratulations for doing what you did, and I hope this stays in your heart and you continue to volunteer.
Thank you.
Okay, let's get a
Thank you,
picture.
Mayor.
And thank your parents for us. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Norma. Thank you. They're gorgeous. Oh, they're beautiful. Good job, Eric. That's funny, his parents thought it was telemarketing. My goodness. Okay, next we have National Childhood Obesity Awareness Month, which is September. I'd like to call up Rachel Phelps, Community Services Parks and Recreation Coordinator for the City of Chino, and Brian Rachielis, the Branch Director of the Chino Valley YMCA. And Brittany. I don't know how we're going to get Brian in the same picture. He's way up there. So the proclamation reads, whereas September 2024 marks the 14th annual National Childhood Obesity Awareness Month, the City of Chino, along with its community partners, the Chino Valley Unified School District, Chino Valley YMCA, and Focus on Youth Collaborative, work to prioritize the health and well-being of Chino's children by supporting programs such as Healthy Chino Kids, Healthy Family Day, and Chino Valley Unified School District Health Center. The City of Chino works in conjunction with youth sports leagues to provide space for physical activities and team sports for children in the community. The prevalence of children 2 to 19 years old with obesity in the United States was 19.7% between 2017 and 2020, affecting 1 in 5 school-age children. Obese children are more likely to become obese adults and are more at risk for associated adult chronic diseases, including high blood pressure, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and a stroke. Obesity prevalence is 12.7% among 2 to 5-year-olds, 20.7% among 6 to 11-year-olds, and 22% among 12 to 19-year-olds. And whereas participating in physical activity is important for children and teens, as it can have beneficial effects not only on body weight, but also on blood pressure, bone strength, and mental well-being. Proper nutrition is important for youth as it impacts their physical and mental health, body weight, and it's important in its prevention of chronic diseases. Childhood obesity is preventable, yet does not appear to be declining. So therefore, I, Eunice Emuloa, Mayor of the City of Chino, do hereby proclaim the month of September 2024 as National Childhood Obesity Awareness Month and urge all residents to take advantage of the programs and services that are available in the City of Chino.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, members of the council. I'll go ahead and hand that off. Thank you so much. I know that Healthy Chino initiative was started over 20 years ago because of Childhood Awareness Obesity Month, and we've had many programs because of it. Like the mayor said, Healthy Chino Kids. We're currently celebrating our 20 years of Healthy Chino this month on September 21st. So thank you guys for the opportunity. Thank you.
Oh, yes, thank you. In partnership with great organizations like Chino Valley YMCA, we do also, we provide great events and programming for children, including garden workshops, which also teach children the importance of nutrition and growing their own fruits and vegetables, as well as the physical education that comes along with that. So thank you for this recognition. And we continue to look forward to providing really innovative and fun programming to engage the children of our community.
I just want to point out there's a lot of great organizations doing really good work for childhood health in our community. So we're glad to accept this on behalf of everybody that's doing the work out there. Thank you all.
Well, thank you all. Let's get a picture. Next, we have Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, which is also September. I'd like to call up Angie Garcia, Community Services Parks and Recreation Coordinator for the City of Chino, and Stephanie Hedrick Harwell, LMFT Mental Health Program Manager 2, Department of Behavioral Community Crisis Services, and Wendy Johansson. And the proclamation reads, whereas on behalf of the citizens of Chino, we recognize the month of September 2024 as Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, shedding light on those suffering with depression or other mental or behavioral health issues. The health and well-being of all our citizens is of the utmost importance. The City of Chino, San Bernardino County Department of Behavioral Health, and Chino Valley Unified School District recognize suicide is a human tragedy that transcends socioeconomic status, age, gender, and ethnicity. And whereas suicide is the leading cause of death in the United States, more than 49,000 people died by suicide in 2022. That's one death every 11 minutes. 13.2 million adults seriously thought about suicide. 3.8 million planned a suicide attempt, and 1.6 million adults attempted suicide. In 2022, suicide was the second leading cause of death in people ages 10 to 14 and 25 to 34. Whereas suicide has an everlasting impact on the survivors who are left to process the loss of their loved one and who are at the increased risk of suicide themselves. Suicide is preventable through increased knowledge about warning signs, timely intervention, and by limiting access to lethal means for those at risk. And whereas suicide prevention efforts should be developed and encouraged to the maximum extent possible, the City of Chino offers mental health services to youth, adults, and families. Now, therefore, I, Eunice Emuloa, Mayor of the City of Chino, do hereby proclaim September 2024 as Suicide Prevention Month in the City of Chino and urge all citizens to continue to work to prevent suicide and to take action, know the signs, reach out, and know there is help and hope.
Thank you, Mayor Uloa and members of the council. As we reflect on September being the National Suicide Prevention Month, it is important that we remember some key statistics, just like the ones you've mentioned. So today, as things stand, suicide is the 10th leading cause of death. Men are 4 times more likely to die by suicide as women. And every 10 seconds, another life is lost to suicide. Yeah. So, with those statistics, I think it's important to note that if anyone in this room or beyond has ever felt such hopelessness, that it is important to know that there is always help available. And nobody is immune to a mental health crisis. So with that being said, it's important to know what those resources are that you can lean on. And so if you are in crisis, you can reach out to your local law enforcement, and they can help you immediately. You can also dial either by phone or through text 988, which is the Suicide Crisis Lifeline. And they are available 365 days a year, morning and night, anytime you need somebody to talk to. For ongoing support, you can also reach out to the Carolyn Owens Community Center, and there is where we have over 30 trained counselors who are ready and available to help at any time. And we are thankful to the council who has supported this program for over 35 years as well. And really asking for help is a sign of strength and not a sign of weakness, and so we're here to share that message today. So with that being said, I'm going to introduce to you Stephanie and Wendy from the San Bernardino County Department of Behavioral Health, who is going to share a little bit about their services as well.
Good evening. It is an honor to be here in the city of Chino and celebrating our September Prevention and Awareness of Suicide Month. It's an honor to be here. CCRT started in 2004 by the County of San Bernardino as a resource to work with clients who are having a mental health crisis. And we are very proud to be here 20 years later serving the community. It's a very needed service, and we are very proud to accept this on the behalf of the county and appreciate your acknowledgement and support and your partnership in this feat. We also brought some flyers with all of our crisis resources, our crisis centers, our numbers for the different sites for our crisis response team. So if anybody wants those resources, those are available as well. And again, calling 988 will connect you to us. And if you need other resources for ongoing mental health, that's available there as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Giving anything to say? Would you like to say anything? Would you like to say anything? No? Okay. Well, thank you, ladies, for being here. I know families that are affected by a loved one that has committed suicide is very devastating. So if you see anything, if you notice anything, please reach out for help. Okay, let's get a picture. No? She's like, I don't want to I don't either. Hits me right in the camera. Thank you. Next, we have recognition of Go Skateboarding Day, the competition winner. Community Services Parks and Recreation Department hosted its annual Go Skateboarding Day on June 21st. The event brought out hundreds of participants to enjoy the best skate park in the Inland Empire. The event included music, giveaways, food, and skating competitions. The skating competitions involved the skate bowl, bar, and freestyle. Stephen Vasquez won all three, and he is with us tonight. I'd like to call up Lizette Nunez, Community Services Parks and Recreation Supervisor for the city, and Stephen Nunez, the competition winner. Vasquez. I said Nunez. Got the wrong last name. Hi, Stephen. Oh, and he brought his skateboard. Are you going to do a trick for us? Stephen, the certificate of congratulations reads, Chino Go Skateboarding Day, competition 2024, winner of all three events, skate bar, bar, and freestyle, presented by the Mayor and City Council of the City of Chino, presented this third day of September 2024. So tell us a little bit about this competition.
So this was a wonderful event. We had a very large turnout, about 500 kids and community members out there. So we'd like to thank you, Mayor, and the council for your continued support. Thank you to the Police Officers Association for grilling out there with us and spending some wonderful time. It was wonderful. A lot of local skate shops provided free giveaways and participated in the event, and we couldn't be more thankful.
Stephen, tell us a little bit about what you did.
So basically, it was just a good event. Everybody showed love. I brought a few stuff to give out to the kids as well. And I don't know, it was just a lot of fun with all my friends. And I was blessed enough to take all three wins. And thankful to my parents for bringing me and taking me and coming with me along my journey. So,
are your parents here?
Yeah, my parents are over there.
Come on up.
Yeah.
Come up and be with your son.
Yeah. I've been skating for 10 years. I started when I was 7, so my parents have both been with me along the way.
That's terrific. Now, do you have brothers and sisters?
Yes, I have one older brother and 2 younger sisters.
Do they skate?
My little sister used to, but not anymore.
Not anymore? Oh,
yeah.
You knocked her down?
No. Nah, yeah, but just thankful to my parents for letting me be able to skate, and blessings to God for giving me a gift.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on your son's feats. That's absolutely fantastic. I wish we had cement in here. We'd have you do something fancy. It's for the picture. Now, I have to tell you, Councilman Flores sometimes skateboards to City Hall. So maybe you can teach him some tricks someday. Oh, he's going to teach you tricks. Well, congratulations, and thank you very much thank you for supporting him. Absolutely phenomenal. Let's get a picture. Thank you very much again for coming. Oh, there he is. Next, we have the Business of the Month Award. Our standout Business of the Month is a family-owned gym that has been serving the Chino community for an incredible 67 years. Our city is fortunate to have businesses that are not just service providers, but integral parts of our community, and this restaurant is no exception. For September 2024, we're proud to recognize the Doodle Bar and Grill as our Business of the Month. I'd like to call up representatives for the Doodle, owners Pat and Joe Costa. Would you please join me up front? For nearly 70 years, the Doodle has been a beloved establishment. Patrons consistently praise their warm hospitality and mouth-watering dishes, especially their pancakes, often hailed as some of the best around. With a menu that spans breakfast, lunch, and dinner, any time of the day is perfect time to visit the Doodle. As one of the first restaurants in Chino, the Doodle Bar and Grill is truly a labor of love for Joe and Pat. The restaurant became part of their family in 1970, originally owned and operated by Pat's parents. Today, Joe and Pat honor that legacy by continuing to nurture the establishment her parents worked so hard to build. Deeply rooted in our city, the Doodle is more than just a restaurant. It's a dedicated community partner. They proudly support numerous local organizations, including Kiwanis, Rotary Club, the Breast Cancer Society, and the Seroptimus Club. Whenever possible, they support other local businesses in Chino. From local plumbers to marketing materials for the restaurant, the Doodle is committed to supporting fellow Chino businesses. I'd like you to join me in congratulating the Doodle Bar and Grill for being our September 2024 Business of the Month recipient. We want to thank you for choosing Chino as your place of business, and I'd like you to accept this plaque in honor of being our September 2024 Business of the Month. Pat, would you like to say a few words?
Not good on a lot of words, but thank you very much. It's been an honor to be part of Chino for so long, and it's an honor to be here tonight, so we appreciate it. Thank you.
Joe.
Thank you for everybody that supports us for all these years. We really enjoy everybody, enjoy the restaurant business. So we've been in it for 36 years. And the Doodle has been in the family for 56. We are the second generation, but I don't know if we're going to make it to the third. We're working on it. Thank you so much.
Well, I have a question for you. It used to be the Cockadoodle. Then you dropped it to the Doodle. Tell us why.
It was really just a rebranding. Cockadoodle was always known for breakfast. And since Joe is with us now, from formerly being at the Royal Cut, since he's been with us, we've changed the dinner menu so much that we wanted to rebrand it and push the dinners more. So, and it's done well.
That makes sense. Well, they have an absolutely phenomenal prime rib. So if you haven't eaten there, you have to go. Thank you so much, and congratulations for being the September business.
Thank you very much.
Let's give them a hand.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Let's get a picture. Wait, Joe. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Okay, and now, last but not least, we have the Mayor's Home Beautification Award for September. I'd like to call up Lester Dubois of Approach Avenue in the Preserve. Mr. Dubois. We have a certificate for you. Thank you for your continued improvement and maintenance of your home, resulting in a substantial contribution to the overall appearance of the community. You see a picture of their beautiful home on the TV. Here is a picture for you. Here is a pen and pencil set and a lapel pin. And of course, we have the coveted yard sign. That if you choose, you can put it in your yard and make all of your neighbors envious.
I will. Thank you. Thank you so much, Council and Mayor. I was totally surprised when I got the call. I thought it was like a scam, like the keyboard. And then I got the letter in the mail. I was like, oh, let me call. This must be real.
Oh, my gosh.
But thank you. It's an honor to receive the award.
Well, your home is beautiful. How long have you lived there?
Almost 5 years now.
Oh, okay.
No, 7.
7
Sorry,
years?
yeah.
All right. And who does all the maintenance?
Usually me and my wife together. She's at work today. She couldn't make it, so we spend a lot of time cleaning the house and maintaining it because we don't want it to be the house that everybody drives by and be like, oh, I wish they'd fix their house.
Well, your house is beautiful. Thank you
you so
very
much.
much. Thank you. Oops, forgot the picture.
Hi, everybody's got to take a picture.
Thank you. Okay, we did have closed session prior to the council meeting starting. I'd like to ask, our attorney to give us a report out of that meeting.
Thank you, Mayor and members of the council and all of those present here this evening. The City Council met in closed session as announced by the Mayor, held a discussion as to the single item listed on the closed session portion of the agenda, namely conference with legal counsel, one item of anticipated litigation under the heading significant exposure to litigation. City Council received a briefing and no further reportable action was taken. That concludes the report, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. City Manager Wright, do we have any agenda modifications or additions?
No changes, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Let's see, we have an external agency report within our agenda packet. I encourage you all to access that online and read it. Under public announcements, Chino Cares Emergency Preparedness Fair. This Saturday, September 7th, we invite you to join us at the Chino Cares Emergency Preparedness Fair taking place at City Hall here at 13220 Central Avenue from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. This family-friendly event is all about preparing our community for disasters. Come explore a variety of emergency preparedness informational booths, experience our Touch a Truck display, and watch 5 demonstrations on how to stay safe during an emergency. We'll also be giving away some exciting emergency preparedness supplies and prizes. For more information, please visit www.cityofchino.org/CCPF. Also, the City of Chino is currently updating its local hazard mitigation plan, and we want to hear from you. We encourage all residents to participate in submitting a survey to share thoughts on potential hazards in Chino. Your feedback is crucial as the city works to create a plan that will help reduce the impacts of natural and human-caused disasters, ensuring the protection of our community. For more details, visit www.cityofchino.org/LHMP. Now, mark your calendars for Saturday, September 14th, when the City of Chino, in partnership with Adrian's World, the Autistic Society, Inland Empire, Behavior Highway, and Love Them All Foundation will host the Inclusion Community Celebration at the Neighborhood Activity Center. This event is from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and is designed to support our special needs community with a block party atmosphere. There will be a resource fair, exciting sensory activities, and specialized programming for all ages. Registration is required. For more information, please visit www.cityofchino.org/inclusion. Now, next on the agenda is public comment. This is the time and the place for the general public to address the council on items that do not appear elsewhere on the agenda. Our first written request to speak is from Pastor Joseph Wong, Calvary Chapel Chinese Fellowship. If you'd please join us in an invocation.
Dear Father in heaven, in the name of Jesus Christ, we give thanks to you. The Bible says, blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. Yes, this is a nation, the one nation under God. And in the coin we print, in God we trust. Lord, we thank you for this good tradition that this city under the leadership of our mayor and the council to honor God, even in this regular meeting. Lord, your name be praised, your name be honored, and your name be lifted up. Lord, we pray in the name of Jesus Christ that you bless your public servants, the mayor, the councils, the police department, the fire department, the schools, the medical personnel, and of course, Lord, our armies. Lord, be with us. We need you. We are your servants. We serve you, and we serve your people. Lord, as we honor you, we pray that you give this city your safety. Give us wisdom, understanding, inspiration, enlightenment. Lord, to make plan that is pleasing to you, that is after the heart of God. Lord, we do not just make decisions on our own, but you give your plan, your decision into the heart of the decision makers. Lord, we carry out your will. We'll be blessed by you, protected by you, provide for you, be by you. And Lord, we'll do everything to honor you. And may God bless us as we have this meeting to seek your face, seek your counsel, your wisdom, your grace, your power. We thank you in the precious name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Pastor. Let's see. Then we have a request to speak from Janelle Ruiz, new Public Affairs Manager from Southern California Gas Company.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, Council, and City staff. My name is Janelle Ruiz, and I'm the new Public Affairs Manager for SoCal Gas. While I'm new to my role, I have been at the gas company for about 13 and a half years, so I'm not new to gas. You may remember my predecessor, Leah Peterson, or even Art Marquez for his short stint, but I'm here to formally introduce myself as your new direct contact. Should you need anything, I've left my business cards with the city clerk right here. And I'm so excited just to continue this relationship, and I can't wait to take you along while SoCal Gas embarks to be the cleanest, safest, most innovative energy company in America. So thank you, and I will see you Saturday at the Emergency Preparedness Fair.
Okay, thank you very much for being here tonight, Janelle. Those are the only two written requests I have to speak. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to address the council on any item that is not on the agenda? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to the consent calendar. I am asking to pull item number 5. Do any council members wish to have any other items pulled? Okay, seeing none, then I would entertain a motion and a second on the balance of the consent calendar. There's a motion from Councilman Lucio, second from Mayor Pro Tem Comstock. Please vote. The item passes unanimously. Item number 5 is the Seasons Senior Villa request for estoppel certificate, consent to assignment and term extension. I had a lot of questions on this item, and I have asked to have it pulled to clarify some of the points. I'd like to ask our attorney to review quickly what this item contains.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council, and those in attendance tonight. The item before the council is a request by the ownership of the tenant entity that runs what's leased to the Chino Housing Investors Limited Partnership. It's the housing project at 13160 6th Street in the city of Chino. On May 17, 1998, the city entered into a ground lease for the development and operation of this facility. It actually was a set of several documents that the city, as well as the former Chino Redevelopment Agency, entered into with the developer and operator of this facility. It consists of a 104-unit senior citizen rental housing project for low and very low-income households and includes 2 manager units. The representatives of the tenant requested the city to approve a transfer of not the actual entity that consists of the tenant, but its ownership structure. So it's currently operated and owned by High Ridge Costa, and the request is to authorize the transfer to Standard Communities. There is a packet in the included with the staff report that provides some background information about Standard Communities, their expertise, their ownership of similar facilities. They own more than 18,400 affordable and workforce housing projects across the United States. The terms of the ground lease require the City Council's consent for any assignment of a significant portion of their ownership interest. What the provisions say is upon a request to have the council approve an assignment, they have to provide some information that demonstrates the expertise, the background, the capital funding, and resources of the proposed new entity. And upon that consideration of that information, then the council is to consider the consent and not withhold it unreasonably. As part of the request, there's also a request to approve what's called an estoppel certificate, which basically demonstrates and confirms to the new buyer that there are no existing defaults under the terms of the ground lease. So that is provided in the packet. There is also consent for the assignment of what was initially entered into was the disposition and development agreement, where the former redevelopment agency sold the property to the city and ultimately leased it back to the tenant. That document is no longer a live document. It's sort of what is normally a purchase sale agreement, so it's a once in time document. So we didn't believe there's anything left for the city council to consider consenting, so the document that's provided in the consent demonstrates that no consent is believed to be required. And finally, the proposed new ownership also wanted an extension of the term of the lease. Now, this is a very long-term lease. It's a 57-year ground lease that began in 1998, so there are several years remaining on the lease term. And we've had several conversations with the ownership, the proposed new owners, and I believe there's a representative from the new ownership structure here available to answer any questions the council has. Some of the questions we asked is in exchange for this additional term that was being requested, what type of benefits the city would be offered to the city, and really there were none that would suggest to your staff as well as myself that a recommended action of extending the lease would be in order. So we are not recommending any extension of the current term since it's still not set to expire until 2055, so there's obviously plenty of time, and at that time any economic or other issues can play in that we think would be prudent for the council at that time to consider. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions. There is an audit report that had been provided, as is required under the ground lease, to be provided annually, that demonstrates that there are no outstanding issues. From a financial standpoint, there was one point of clarification, and there's also a document that was distributed to the council that updates that. I believe it's one of exhibit, I forgot the exhibit letter, but it's the estoppel certificate, exhibit D, to the staff report. And specifically, it was the number of the lease payments the city receives. The way these transactions are typically structured when low-income housing tax credits are utilized is there's significant return that needs to be received by the ownership before lease payments are made. As the audit report shows, they've paid they have paid, it's right there in in a handy spot. $5,980,000 has been repaid towards the interest that accrued under the bonds, and another $8,294,000 and change is still outstanding. They are current on those payment obligations. They're also current on all of the other notes that were owed to the city have been addressed and no longer an issue. As I mentioned, that was the original funding source and arrangement when the property was developed and originally leased. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions. As I mentioned, the representative from the new ownership is here to answer any questions the council has. I should say there was also an inspection performed by staff and the tenant was gracious enough to accommodate that on fairly short notice. That's why Warren is here to answer any questions about what he observed during the inspection, which is also summarized in the staff report.
Well, having just gotten this audit report, haven't had a chance to look at it and analyze it. So I have a couple of questions. Maybe you can just answer quickly. I noticed in the staff report that the original ground lease had a promissory note of $339,312 that was also referred to as a second loan by the city. Mm-hmm. Then there was a leasee tax credit of $287,811 and a revenue bond of $6,400,000. But there's a first loan to the RDA, $5,980,000. You mentioned something about $7 million. What is really owed now on that bond?
Right. The bond was the $5 million.
No, $6,400,000 originally. That's what the ground lease originally called out. And then Exhibit C said it was $5,980,000. So there's two different.
Yes, $5,980,000 is the original amount of the bond.
So the $6,400,000 was just what they thought they would need, and then they actually bonded $5,980,000?
I don't know about that discrepancy. What I do know is what the original amount was, how much they've paid to date, and what is outstanding on those bonds.
Okay,
and
then we'll go with the $5,980,000.
Yeah.
How much is still owed?
Face amount of the bond is the $5,980,000. All payments to date are amount to $8,294,306, and that's interest only. What is still outstanding is and it's showed on the audit report, the $10,675,077. So if you look, of course they don't number these pages, but it's looks like the third page that's entitled Balance Sheet for the years December 2023 and 2022. Under the 2023 column, the third to last line identifies total liabilities. I'm informed that the $10,675,000 is accrued interest plus the principal that still remains on the bonds. And all those payments have been current to date.
Oh, this is voodoo math to me. So the original bond was $5.98 million, and now there's $10 million owed?
Plus the $8 million that have been paid. It's compounded daily, I believe, the interest. Yeah.
Wow. That makes no sense to me.
I'm not sure how it computed that way, or I wasn't around when the original deal was done, but at times some of these tax credit investors seek pretty high returns.
Will it ever be paid off?
It has to be per the bond agreements, and since they've been paying them timely, we have no reason to believe they won't.
So we're into this 26 years of 57 years, and started out $5.9 million, and now there's $10 million owed?
Yes, that's
that
what I
makes
understand.
no sense to me. Maybe you can explain it to me later, because that makes no sense.
I will admit I don't understand the math, because it's very deep into the bond issues. I do understand that they're timely. They're not out of compliance. So for the purposes of the assignment, that's what I focused on. Perhaps the representative from the ownership can answer some of those questions, but I know the interest rate was fairly significant, and it's the power of compounding is what I suspect.
The $339,000 that was the second loan, was that ever paid off?
That was required to be paid off within the first 5 years or the closing of the transaction, so that.
And that was paid off?
It's not outstanding anymore, yeah.
Okay, now there are 2 reserve accounts for maintenance, I'm assuming, and capital improvements.
Yeah.
There's sums of money in those 2 accounts. The new ownership taking this over, will they just automatically assume ownership of those funds?
So, like I said, this thing doesn't have page numbers, but
That's
On
paragraph
the
17.2.
the 7th page of this audit report that was circulated, that's entitled Notes to Financial Statements. Under item number 1, the very last line of that says that the limited partner, the tenant, has provided its total required capital contribution. So they are capitalized per the requirements of the ground lease. They cannot fall below those requirements of the ground lease, otherwise they'd have a breach on their hands that the city could enforce.
So that money transfers to the new.
It should transfer. Now, if that's accumulated beyond what the lease requires, that's a private deal between the buyer and the seller as far as how much needs to be transferred over, but it can't fall under what the lease requires.
Okay. Now, I understand that there's some deferred maintenance that was identified. I have 2 questions on that. Why did we allow maintenance to be deferred? And is it going to be taken care of by the new people? And is there a guarantee that they'll take care of it?
Let me hand this over to
Mayor, council members. So to answer your first question, I do not know, Mayor, why we allowed it to be deferred to the point where it's at. The good news is we did go out and inspect it, and it's not critical stuff. It's just deferred maintenance. So we walked with the new ownership party. They agree that it has to be taken care of. Certain things have to be taken care of. Some of the stuff that was identified is landscaping. So with the landscaping, it's not so much the maintenance of it, like somebody going out there and maintaining it, cutting it, because they're out there every week, as you know. I walk their neighborhood and see them out there all the time. It's more so like spots that are not totally filled back in from the original times, or it's gone to a level that doesn't have it fully covered in certain areas. So we weren't worried about that as much. In terms of the building itself, it's like wood rot, a little bit of wood rot that's out there. We walked it. They concurred that, yes, it needs to be taken care of. So there's some areas, it's not a lot, but it's some. And there was a little portion of some of the wrought iron fencing that surrounds the community. There was one bad spot that had to do with overwatering that area, planting. That's what I think. But other areas look good, and more of a touch-up paint kind of thing. To answer the question whether they're going to be on it, yes, we agreed with the walk that the first thing we're going to do, Chris and I, are going to, after this, meet with them and develop a plan for bringing that stuff back up to speed in terms of everything we've identified. And then some things that we haven't talked about yet that we want to talk about and sort of build a strategy moving forward.
Okay. Now, I understand they're going to bring in their own management company. Have we interviewed the residents in that complex to find out if they were happy with the way it was being managed?
We have not interviewed the residents.
So we don't know if there were any issues with the old management?
No, ma'am. I have not personally received complaints, but no, we do not know if there's any issues with the old man.
Okay.
Staff's not aware of that.
Now, the city itself, because this asset will become apparently turned over to the city at the end of the 57 years, correct? Correct. But the city itself, or the complex, hasn't benefited from this change in lease ownership at all, has it?
It hasn't happened. It's subject to your approval. So whether the new company has more assets, expertise, and resources to better manage the property is a question that I suspect you can ask the representative as well. But as I mentioned, in exchange for the lease extension, they didn't provide any, they didn't offer any benefits, I should say, but just wanted to get their rights to secure an assignment of the ownership.
It seems it should have been incumbent upon us to at least get something beneficial to the residents of the community with this change. I mean, that would have been the golden opportunity to ask for something.
We did ask, actually, if there would be an opportunity to prioritize leasing to Chino residents. And I understood, and again, the representative can elaborate on this, but I understood their wait lists and all other commitments under their structure would not allow that, you know, folks on the wait list to sort of leapfrog and
So we can't
be first in
prioritize.
priority, but perhaps the representative has a better answer, a more complete answer.
Okay. Would you like to come up, please?
Hello, my name is Katie Smith. Hello, Mayor, City Council, City staff. Thank you for having me. So regarding the transfer, so with our, for the residents specifically, for terms of the low-income housing tax credit regulatory agreement, there are certain sensitivities when it comes to prioritizing certain residents over others. That is something that we looked into with City Attorney and team. But in terms of the benefits to Chino and the residents, we are very eager to work with city staff on formulating our deferred maintenance plan and improvements to the property. Like Warren listed, we are eager to make the community better, and as part of us entering in, as part of Standard coming into the property and coming into the community, it is beneficial in terms of bringing new capital funds to the property to reinvest into the buildings and making that experience better for residents.
Okay, but you can't prioritize Chino residents living there?
Unfortunately, with the different regulatory agreements, it's something that we explored but ultimately couldn't commit to.
That's unfortunate because I know there's a long waiting list.
Yeah, affordable housing for senior citizens is certainly a priority, and we understand your concern for the residents of Chino. As part of our management plan, it's active outreach with the community to continue reaching out to other citizens of Chino to get them added to the wait list and making sure that they're aware that there is a potential home for them here. So outreach efforts to the community, marketing efforts to that effect are certainly part of our management plan.
Okay. Any questions from council members? Kurt?
Probably for Warren. There's 104 units there, I believe, and you'd mentioned you inspected each unit. Did you go in and physically inspect every apartment unit?
Just the exterior.
No, sir. So what we did is we wanted to focus on the outside of the facility first. So we walked the entire facility, see what shape it is in. The company offered to take us in a vacant unit. It was at short notice, take us in a vacant unit. But when we discussed it, we thought it was more appropriate that we would go into the units after and kind of walk through the units. I know that you guys, in terms of a company, inspected it way more because you guys were going to take over the property itself. And you can explain what you saw. But for us, we thought the outside was the first step, and then we would get as a group, once they took over, start looking at the inside, making sure that we're on the same page as we move forward with the new company.
So thinking about livability, I mean, have you gone in and inspected the interior of these units? And
Yes.
What condition have you found?
So our management, or the third-party management company, apartment management consultants who we'll be partnering with, did a 100% unit inspection with a very detailed photo log and condition of repairs to assess where these units and these homes for these residents were at. So far, we found, upon review, they were in typical condition for a building that's just over 20 years old. And so we are, as part of our capital and deferred maintenance improvement plan, formulating our approach for any repairs for the units. And then new management has a very active work order system where we'll work with residents to address any repairs that they've requested for their particular units. And then, of course, when someone moves out and someone moves in, a detailed and thorough maintenance of the unit is performed to make sure it's, of course, in good living standards. So that's a priority for us.
Karen?
Thank you for coming up to field some of our questions. I think the mayor brings up a good point about the maintenance schedule, Warren. I don't know how we didn't have that into the original plan, but not just from the exterior, but also the interior. It's been a while, but I have been on some calls for service inside of those senior apartments, and they're reaching an age even before that point where I don't know how they are refurbished. There's not a lot of turnover there. There is a large demand to actually live in that spot. But one of the benefits that could have been nice for a co-op with your company as well as the cities, we have a community garden next door.
Yes.
And it would be nice for us to be able to refurbish that community garden, through a cooperation with our staff and maybe your company, because that garden can also provide food. It's been closed for a while. It's in dire need of upgrading. So just something I throw out there is, and as a result of the mayor's inquiries to not necessarily the financials, but I was thinking about something we could do, it would be nice to actually consider that. So those are my comments. Thank you, Mayor.
Mark?
I know you talked about low income and very low income. What do those typically rent for?
The typical rent, I'm sorry, I don't have that information in front of me, but I believe, I'm sorry, I don't want to misspeak here. It's if we had to put a number on it, I believe it's around 1,000 or so, and it's based off of the area median income. But that is something that we can provide to staff after the meeting.
And how long is the wait list?
I believe that it is at least several months to a couple years is how we tend to speak about wait lists in affordable housing.
So it's not a number?
Well, it's I can get the number to you. It's probably under 100, and then it's just based off of, you've got a number on the wait list, but it takes, especially senior properties, there is not a ton of people moving out, so it tends to take a much longer time.
Okay, thank
Do you
you.
happen to have that information, Warren?
I don't, Mayor. For either one, the rent, I don't recall. We were just kind of touching base. But in terms of the wait list, she's absolutely right. At least our experience is that the wait list has become so long, they have to cut it off because there's no way that last person's going to get in based on the timing it takes to go through there. So I know when we talked to the on-site managers, the third party that actually manages the facility, they had said that they were just about ready to purge through and kind of take care of it and reduce it to a level that's realistic, not only for the company, but also for the people that are on the waiting list. The last thing a person wants to do is be on the waiting list and say, hey, I'm going to Chino, and then find out that they never really get called because of the waiting list. So I know that they were working on that too, Mayor.
Okay. Chris, do you have anything? I think Karen brings up a really good point about the community garden. If your company would be so good as to maybe put some funds into that garden and help the residents, I think that would be really nice. Because it's my understanding that we're not actually benefiting from this lease change at all.
We had the opportunity to walk the community garden with Warren and team, and there's definitely some potential there. So we'll have continued conversations on how we could make that a part of the broader community.
That would be great.
That'd be great.
Thank you very much. Okay, Warren, so we will trust you to work with them to get a firm commitment and schedule on the deferred maintenance?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, well, if there's no other further questions, then I would ask for a motion and a second for this item. Motion from Councilman Burton, second from Mayor Pro Tem Comstock. Please vote. And the item passes unanimously. Thank you for being here this evening.
Thank you very much.
Next item on the agenda is a public hearing, item number 14. This is appeal of PL 24-0018, which is an administrative approval. this appeal for approval of the installation of an exterior backup generator for O'Reilly's Auto Parts located at CG, which is Commercial General Zoning District in the Big Lots Commercial Center at 12516 Central Avenue, APN 1015-371-02. I'd like to declare the public hearing open and then ask for a staff report from our city planner, Andrea Gilbert, and from our Director of Development Services, Warren Marillion. I always say it wrong, Warren, sorry.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council. The item before you tonight is an appeal of administrative approval PL 24-0018 for the installation of a backup generator and exterior improvements at O'Reilly Auto Parts located at 12516 Central Avenue in the Big Lots Shopping Center. O'Reilly Auto Parts is in the process of expanding the existing store into the existing vacant space to utilize the Chino location as a hub store. An administrative approval application was submitted on February 23rd, 2024 for exterior modifications to remove the existing chain link enclosure on the south side of the building and install an emergency generator in this location. The tenant improvements that O'Reilly Auto Parts is processing are permitted by right by the city since they are all interior. The hub store is a newer concept for O'Reilly, and as part of business expansion, emergency generators are standard at all stores to allow the store to remain operational in the case of a power outage. Attending public notice was mailed to all adjacent property owners, and at that time, no concerns were expressed about the installation of the generator by adjacent residents. After the application was approved, staff received a call from Mr. Brian Angelis, who resides in the adjacent condominium complex to the west, with concerns about nighttime noise from the existing shopping center. Staff met with Mr. Angelis at the site to explain the proposal for the generator and discuss his concerns, which were generally a result of other tenants within the shopping center. Staff also discussed modifications to the existing generator that could be possible and committed to working with O'Reilly on a design solution to mitigate noise from the generator. Since the noise complaints are from existing businesses within the center, code enforcement staff was also contacted and made contact with the business owners, reminding them to be a good neighbor because there is residential uses just to the west. After meeting with Mr. Angelis submitted an appeal application requesting the Planning Commission overturn the approval of the emergency generator on April 4th. Staff has continued to work with O'Reilly on the generator design between the time the appeal application was received and the Planning Commission meeting, including trying to arrange meetings with Mr. Angelis and O'Reilly Auto Parts to come up with a solution that both parties could work with. This resulted in the following modifications for the project. As you can see on the original approval, the generator was located approximately 84 feet from the west property line. The generator is now proposed to be 118 feet from the adjacent residential property. The proposed generator was also upgraded with an enclosure and muffler to reduce the noise to 51.2 decibels at a distance of 118 feet, which is that western property line. The height of the block wall enclosure around the generator was also increased from 6 feet to 8 feet to provide additional sound barriers. The generator is conditioned as part of the approval to only be used in the event of a power outage and during business operation of the store, or the power outage during business hours. The appeal was heard by the Planning Commission on June 19th, and the project modifications were discussed. The Planning Commission denied the appeal and upheld the approval of the proposed generator. Mr. Angelis submitted an appeal of the Planning Commission's decision on June 28th, requesting that a site-specific noise study be prepared. During discussions with O'Reilly, it was determined that this noise study would be infeasible since the hub location is a new concept for the auto parts store, and there is not an O'Reilly hub location with a comparable generator in operation, since typically the generators are not equipped with the additional sound barriers. The type of generator being installed typically produces 129.7 decibels of noise at a standard O'Reilly's. As mentioned, this emergency generator will be equipped with protective metal casing and a muffler, which will reduce the noise significantly to 52.1 decibels, which is the equivalent of about a household dishwasher in your home. With the block wall enclosure, noise will further be reduced. As designed with noise attenuation measures, the generator meets the city's maximum noise allowance of 55 decibels between the hours of 7 a.m. and 10 p.m., which is the time the generator during an emergency would allow to be run. Over the past 5 years, the store has encountered no power outages that would have even necessitated the use of the generator to maintain the store operations. Therefore, the use of the generator is anticipated to be pretty limited. Staff, in conclusion, is recommending that the City Council adopt Resolution 2024-041, denying the appeal and thereby upholding the approval of PL 24-0018 administrative approval based on the findings and subject to the conditions of approval. This concludes my report. If you have any questions.
Thank you, Andrea. Prior to asking the applicant to come up, do any council members have any questions? Okay, is the applicant here? Yes, would you like to come up?
Is he from O'Reilly or is he?
No, he's the applicant for the generator. Do you have any clarification of what we looked at?
No, I think the summary was pretty concise. As stated the last time we were here, the city planning committee, the decibel rating is below standards for that area. I was contacted by Chris Cortez just to reiterate whether or not we've ever had a necessity to use a generator had we had one installed. Over the last 5 years, we haven't had any major power outages at that location that would even necessitate a backup generator. We've also obviously worked with the appellant to address any concerns he had. We're able to move that generator over as requested to kind of compromise the situation, but to no avail. So I'm willing to take any questions that you guys have at this time.
Any questions of him? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, is there any member of the audience right now that would like to address the council on this item? Okay, seeing none. If there's no more comments or questions.
It would be appropriate to close the public hearing.
Okay, then I will close the public hearing and then ask if any council members have comments.
I would just like to say that I appreciate the thoughtfulness of O'Reilly in going above and beyond what is necessary, in my opinion, to move the generator, to build a wall taller than you need to put a muffler on it. It sounds to me like the noise issues are coming from other areas within that center and not the generator. So I appreciate the thoughtfulness of O'Reilly and also our planning commission's ability to decipher what was going on and to really make a good decision here. So thank you for that.
Karen?
It's my understanding that, generally speaking, the generator won't work after the hours of 7 to 10 p.m. Is that correct?
That is correct. I believe O'Reilly, it might run till 11 p.m. Their hours right now are 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., but no, it would not run after business hours.
I echo Councilmember Burton's comments about O'Reilly's willingness to help mitigate some of the sound. When will the generator be tested? During those normal business hours, or how often?
We don't have that information of how often it would be tested, but generally it would be during normal business hours.
That's the only request I would make from O'Reilly, since the representative sitting here is, I know it's going to have to be tested, a couple times a year just for functionality. So just make sure that the testing occurs during those hours as well.
Okay, with that then I would ask for a motion and a second to approve this item number 14.
And just to confirm, it's to concur with staff's recommendation to deny the appeal.
Yes. Okay, we have a motion from Councilman Burton, second from Mayor Pro Tem Comstock. Please vote. Item passes unanimously. Okay, next on the agenda is Mayor and Council reports. I do have item number 15, Community Support Fund. I'm asking to approval of donating $500 to the American Cancer Society for the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer fundraiser. Motion from Councilman Flores, second from Mayor Pro Tem Comstock. Please vote. And it passes unanimously. Thank you very much. For my report, we went dark technically on council meetings in the month of August, but it was still very, very busy. I have a few highlights from the month of August. On August 6th, the Making Strides to Cure Breast Cancer did hold their kickoff meeting, and that same night was our National Night Out, which council participated in. I'm so very proud of our community for having so many locations. I guess some other communities literally just kind of shut down and gave up or had them in a city park, but our community is very, very busy. So thanks to the police department and the fire department for visiting all of those different locations. I'm sure Kevin's going to talk about a little bit. Then let's see, on August 15th, San Bernardino County Transportation Authority Transit Committee brought the first zero-emission multi-unit, also called ZEMU train, for the members to see, to view it. It uses a hybrid hydrogen and battery technology to propel the train and power onboard electrical systems. Water vapor is the only emission generated from the ZEMU train, making this a clean transit alternative. Its paint job is really unique. It looks like a blue giraffe. So if you see it, you won't be able to miss what it is. Also on the 15th, Omnitrans Admin and Finance Committee recommended that the Board of Directors award a PO to Creative Bus Sales right here in Chino for 6 paratransit and transit vehicles for a total not to exceed the amount of $900,000. So that'll generate some sales tax for us. See, we held several meetings during the month with our Chino Valley Unified School District Board of Directors and their staff. We could only meet 2 at a time so that we didn't violate Brown Act violations, but we met with them to discuss matters of mutual concern. And then this morning, City Manager Reich and I attended a meeting with Supervisors Hagman and Almendarez to discuss the county's West End homeless issues in order to seek funding and support from the county to come up with kind of a solution on our mutual problems with homeless. And it's looking very encouraging. Let's see, upcoming events. We have the Chino Cares Emergency Preparedness event on Saturday, the 7th. We have Chino Valley Independent Fire District's 9/11 Memorial Ceremony at the Peyton Station on 9/11 at 9 o'clock. I'm sure the chief's going to talk about that. That is a really nice event if you can attend it. And then our Inclusion Community Celebration on Saturday, 9/14 at the NAC right here on site. And that's all I have this evening. Mayor Pro Tem Comstock.
Thank you, Mayor. I also want to compliment our staff and our community for participating in National Night Out. The first Tuesday of August, that was a great event. I also like to comment on the state of Ayala Park. I've spoken to the city manager about this. I spoke to our director of community services, parks and recreation tonight. We have a bad problem with gophers there. Gophers are all over Chino. They're in my front yard. They're in my planters. But I feel like Bill Murray from Caddyshack and the movie occasionally about gophers, if you're familiar with that movie. They are a serious problem at Ayala Park, and they are affecting, I think, sometimes the playability of some of our fields there. So hopefully we can get some more attention to that. That also came up during the Community Services Commission meeting. Also, I spoke with a resident yesterday about our senior center and our library. He was actually praising the entire city council for the operations of our senior center and our library. He uses our senior center almost daily during the summer as a cooling location because he doesn't have air conditioning at home. The one problem he stated that he does have, particularly during the summer months, is that our local shuttle doesn't run or take people past, at least to his statement, is past 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, that the last shuttle leaves at that time, and it puts some of them home at the peak of the heat. So I did thank him for calling us and praising us and acknowledging that, and it also said I would state those concerns tonight during my public comments to the city manager. Maybe we actually entertain a summer schedule for the shuttle, as it is maybe a little early to get some of the people home that are using that as a cooling center, or maybe provide him with a different point-to-point access ride. He does get rides occasionally from other people at the senior center, but I did tell him that that was a great suggestion, and I would pass it forward. And I have the phone number I'll provide to the city manager after this meeting. Chief, I saw that you're hosting Coffee with the Cop at Flows. Thank you for bringing your police officers to that location. I'm sure it will help them also, hopefully get some attendance into that location for them. I'm sure the chief will announce when he gets up here. I'd like to say congratulations to Pat and Joe from the Doodle. If you haven't been into what was, when I first moved here, the Cockadoodle, but the Doodle, it's a great local family restaurant, good food, good service, and hometown Chino is in there almost every day of the week. So thank you for your family's legacy there, and thank you for serving our community to this day. And then last, I'd like to congratulate our city manager. Last Thursday, the city manager and I participated in a women's leadership conference at the Ontario Convention Center. Several of Team Chino were in participation, as well as our congresswoman that was here tonight and other leaders from the local area. Lynn Kennedy, a couple people from the city of Ontario. I want to thank the Chamber for partnering with our communities. I want to thank Dr. Reich for participating in the panel. You did a great job, Linda, representing us there, and everybody who attended the conference. So that concludes my comments tonight. Thank you very much, Mayor.
Councilman Burton.
Thank you, Mayor. On July 31st was the council EMT goal setting workshop. A lot of good feedback in that meeting. On August 6th, I had also attended the National Night Out. On the 7th, I met with the mayor and members of the Chino Valley Unified School District, the superintendent, and a few board members to discuss upcoming goals and our relationship over the next actually several years. The 13th, the mayor and I attended an Aqua ACWA water meeting event. The 14th, mayor's prayer breakfast. And then on the 15th, I met with one of our local developers to talk about possibly putting in some more high-density homes, which I am not in favor for. On the 19th, I had a meeting with the Chino Valley Leadership Collaborative. I also met with the Chino Police Department chaplain. The 22nd, I met at the Ontario City Hall with Mayor Leone and Councilmember Parada. I'm part of the board of the West End Animal Services JPA that we have started within our area. It's going to be a very, very successful program. I encourage everybody to go online onto City of Ontario's website to research that a little bit more. But I believe it's going to be very, very successful. And I believe also that we're going to see other cities that are going to join into that venture. On the 23rd, I met with members of the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce. On the 24th, Councilmember Flores and I attended the Saturday night fights over here at the Neighborhood Activity Center. Quite an incredible event with our local boxers. And then on the 30th, I met with a faculty member at Rhodes Elementary in reference to a traffic issue out on San Antonio. It's completely and totally gridlocked in there in the morning and in the evening when people are picking up and dropping off their kids. And I know that our traffic engineers are going to be looking into that. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, thank you very much. Councilman Flores.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of things. I'm going to keep it short. On the 6th, I attended National Night Out as well. Super great event. I had a chance to visit different locations. And aside from, just the great evening it is, one thing I really appreciate is, again, meeting different residents and addressing different issues that, that are aside from just the celebration of National Night Out. One of those, I had the opportunity to meet a resident who eventually, in working with Councilmember Burton, we solved some line-of-sight issues for them. We're solving them, as we speak. So I was excited about that because it's a chance, again, for residents to voice their concerns to council members, and it was just a great opportunity. So I thought that was a really successful night, and just want to thank Councilmember Burton for making that happen as well. We during the presentations earlier, it was shared that it's Suicide Prevention Month, and I think there was one powerful statement that was made to the men and to women as well, and to our boys and girls. Just coming forward and stepping forward is a sign of strength and not a sign of weakness. I just thought that was a powerful statement. Steven Vasquez, our skateboarder, he's not here anymore, but I was super excited to have that happen. That's the first time we ever recognized one of our skateboarders in town, so it was pretty exciting to see that happen. And to the Doodle, congratulations. Aside from the amazing food and the excellent environment there, I invite you guys to show up on a Saturday night and watch the community sing along together to some good tunes. And but with that being said, I'm glad to be back. And that concludes my comments, Mayor. Thank you.
So, do you participate in the sing along, Chris?
That'd be a question for Pat and Joe there. I do not actually. No, you wouldn't want to see that. No.
Okay. And you're going to take on competition on skateboarding, I guess?
Well, we'll see. Only time will tell.
Okay. Councilman Lucio.
I have no report tonight.
Okay. City Manager Reich.
No report, Mayor. Just happy to be back.
City Attorney Galante.
Just following the trend, no report. Thank you.
Gosh. Police Chief Menson.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So we had the National Night Out. It was a great event. We visited 15 locations throughout. Over half our members of the police department were involved in that event, and it's just it was a great opportunity to spend the evening with just really the thing we have here is special in Chino, just such a supportive community and welcoming us, cooking food, barbecuing. We had a really good time. So yes, Flows, both of our Flows locations have been struggling. I know one of them was awarded the Business of the Month. So me and our command staff, we went down for lunch down to the one at the airport a few weeks ago, met with the owner there. And then we scheduled the Coffee with a Cop with the one on Riverside Drive on September 10th from 8 to 10 a.m. And then we've also scheduled another Coffee with a Cop with the Flows on Merrill. And that one's on October 2nd. That's actually National Coffee with a Cop Day. So
Will that be 8 to 10 as well?
that one will be 8 to 10 as well, I believe, yes.
Okay.
So, yes, trying to bring some business to both of these establishments that are struggling. The one down at the airport, obviously, with all the construction that's taking place in Ontario, we made sure that it was accessible with the detour, and it was. But the day we went there for breakfast, it was nice to see. It was quite busy that day, so that was good to see. Next thing I want to talk about, so when I became chief, one of my goals is, and Mayor, you brought this up, you requested this, was to bring back a volunteer program. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to announce that we are launching a new volunteer program titled VIPs. So this is a nationwide name for volunteers. It stands for Volunteers in Policing. So it obviously brings people, gives them a look behind of what we do at the police department. We get to use them. They get to be involved with different volunteering events, going out and doing vacation checks, helping us on checkpoints. We're doing another program that we're going to use this. It's called Yana, You Are Not Alone. So if you have seniors that don't have family members that can visit them, we get them signed up, and we send our volunteers over that can visit with them, check on them, make sure that they're okay. So some requirements for this program: they must be 18 years old. We do a background check. We do an interview, and they're required to attend our community academy within the first year, either in the past or their first year that they're appointed to this position. So because our community academy really gives them a look at what the Chino Police Department does. So.
How are you going to advertise this, Kevin?
On social media. Social media has been our best way. We already started reaching out to previous graduates of the Community Academy to let them know that this is coming, to see if and then to start up an interest list. So obviously we'll see. We've already gotten quite a bit of responses of people that are interested. So we'll start off and grow the program and make sure that obviously we can maintain it. But this is going to be a great benefit to the community, a benefit to us, to give them a look at what, kind of behind the scenes of what we're doing at the police department.
Gives us more eyes, too.
It does, absolutely. Great. The one thing is, bringing back the vacation checks, just something as basic as, as that. That obviously to send police officers on vacation checks is just not feasible. But
Right.
for these people to be able to do that.
Well, and even I remember when the senior patrol was there, I mean, they would check on open garages and gates that were open and things that you guys don't have time to do. But
They
it was
will.
valuable.
It is. It is.
Right.
And then I know you made this at the opening comments of the announcement, but this our Chino Cares Emergency Preparedness Fair is this Saturday. We have 26 booths signed up right now. Also, the county is bringing out their earthquake simulators. So I know it's going to be hot, but I encourage people to come on out. It'll be worth your time. Last year, this is our second annual. Last year was our first year of the event, so it'll be worth the time. A lot of events, a lot of handouts. So, and we had a great turnout last year when we did this. So hopefully the heat doesn't keep people away, but we encourage people to come. That concludes my report, unless you have any questions.
Nope. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, do we have any Chino directors that have a report? Oh, looks like Hey Jen does.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. I have two quick updates for you. I had a couple of inquiries regarding Ramona Avenue paving. People thought that we are just going to leave it that way, but we're not. We are planning to come back and do the full paving from Schaefer to Chino Avenue on October 14th. So that's scheduled. The reason why we had to wait until October is since it was an emergency project, contractor was already committed into other projects, and there weren't any asphalt available for our project. So October is when contractor and the asphalt will be available for our project.
Okay.
Another one, you may also get some additional update from Chief Williams, but our Public Works crew was called to assist fire with the fire at El Prado Road between Kimball and Mountain. So they help with traffic control and also to turn over dirt on the areas that are smoldering. So we had our crew out there starting around 11 o'clock until around 4:30 to help assist with the fire department's effort to put out the fire.
Okay.
So that's two updates I have.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Jen. I saw Warren get up. Warren, nope, Dave, you got to wait.
I think Hey Jen's going to come back up in just a second. But Mayor, council members, again, it's my pleasure to mention that I stole Chris back from the police department back to community services or community development. Chris, as you know, used to work for community development, now development services. Back in the day, 12 years ago, he left to work at the PD. He has extensive experience in code enforcement and a little bit in building, but a lot in housing. So every time you were asking me a question, I was looking over at Chris, take a note because you're going to be getting on that. So I'm happy to have him here. I know he's going to tell a little bit about himself, but I cannot tell you how happy I am to have him back. And sorry, Chief, we got Chris.
Chris, my challenge to you is Habitat for Humanity. We used to have more units in Chino than any other city,
We did, didn't we?
and now we don't.
Okay, well, that hadn't been brought up till now, so I got one more thing to add to my list. I'm excited to be back. It's going to be a bit of a challenge getting my head wrapped in the game. I've been doing something completely different from the last 12 years, and that was incredible. And I couldn't be more thankful to the police department for offering me the opportunity that I was given over those 12 years. It was a great run, and now I'm back here, and I'm just trying to get caught up on things. And I felt a little sheepish sitting at the back, not having a lot of answers to the season's questions, because 12 years ago I could have answered probably 9 out of 10 of those questions. So I will get back to that pretty quickly, and I'm looking forward to moving our housing, our code enforcement, our permit center, and our accessibility programs forward.
Well, welcome back to the City Hall portion.
Thank you.
And
Sorry,
if I could just make a quick comment, I would just like to thank Chris and commend him for his service in the police department. During that time when you moved over there, it was kind of a difficult time for the city itself. But you moved over there, you had a great attitude. And you know what, Chris, you did an amazing job. You fit right in. Fortunately for me, I got to work with you. I was a detective at the time, and your office was in our main area. And you did a phenomenal job, and we just really appreciate your service at the police department.
Well, thank you. I appreciate having the opportunity to have done that.
Karen.
Thank you, Chris. You sat at my table during my tenure there for many weeks. You were a trusted advisor to me. Like Kurt said, you did a great job over there. but I know where your true heart and passion lies, and that's in housing and development. And I'm so happy to keep you on our team and back over at City Hall, just like the mayor said. Congratulations, Chris.
Thank you very much.
For the public's information, Chris left what he was doing and went to the police department because we had some budgetary issues. And so we switched personnel around, and Chris graciously switched departments, ended up being for 12 years. But we were blessed and able to keep some very, very valuable employees by moving them around. So welcome back to housing. I'm glad you didn't leave us. And I'm sure you learned a lot by being in PD.
I did. I most certainly did. Thank you.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
Hadrian's back again. Oh, then Ben.
Council and Mayor, I am so sorry. I have forgot to introduce our new Deputy Director of Public Works.
Public Works Services.
Public Services. After our recruitment effort, similar to what Warren has said, we went through outside recruitment, and we had talent right under our nose. And I am proud and happy to introduce Ben Orozco as our newest Deputy Director of Public Works on the Public Services side. And as you know, Ben is kind of homegrown in the city of Chino, and I am so glad and honored to really have him as I call Albert and Ben as my left arm and right arm. So I want Ben to have an opportunity to address the council.
Okay.
Thank you, Council. So, like she said, I am homegrown. I spent this is my 25th year this month with the city. Started part-time in parks, cleaning restrooms, and just worked my way to streets, water, inspection, supervision, just kept climbing my way up through the city ranks. And I'm glad for the opportunity to be part of this leadership team. The vision's there. I'm proud to take on that vision with Hadrian and Albert and just move the city forward. And I'm looking to what we could do with our services unit along with our engineering department and just create a better city, what we're looking for, a prime city. Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity, guys. Thank you.
Ben, you are a perfect example of what makes this city special. Because you know us, you've been with us, you've grown up here, and I'm just so proud of what you've done in your career. But again, you're a prime example of what makes Chino so stand out compared to other communities, because we have a lot of homegrown, really special people and people that stay with us. So congratulations.
I also live in the city. Crystal Flores, my council representative. Great job. Great job to you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Ben.
Dave, your turn now, I think.
All right, Mayor, thank you. Regarding the fire, September 2nd, we did have a fire down by IEUA. It ended up being about 5.5 acres. Our crews did a tremendous job getting on it. I bring it up not only to also thank the Public Works for bringing out tractors and backhoes to help us move soil around so that we could get to the seat of the fire. But it's just another reminder. Most people think of fire season as the summer. Fire season traditionally is actually somewhere time towards the end of September, because it's when the Santa Anas and the winds start picking up. So although it be hot, wind is can be a big problem for us. So to the community out there, just be mindful when you're engaging in anything to do with open flame, whether it's barbecuing, heating fires, warming fires. Just make sure that you're doing those things appropriately. So. Thank you, Public Works, for your help. We certainly appreciate it. Community members, be mindful. We're still going to have crews out there for at least one more day. The fire is out. Forward progress is stopped, but we're still out there doing some overhaul. It takes a little while to get that stuff when it's deep-seated to get it completely out. As far as the ambulance update, we were supposed to get word at the end of August as far as what the judge was going to decide on the injunction that AMR filed. We're still waiting, so the update is I don't have any more information for you yet. Rest assured that as soon as I get it, I actually will be making a phone call to you just so you have a good understanding. I don't want you to wait a full council meeting to know if there's any more challenges that we're facing.
Any indication on when they will make a decision?
No, what we were told was by the end of August, and then sometime in early August, we were told that it would likely be middle of August, so they bumped it back in our favor as far as getting the information, and we still have yet to hear. So we're still waiting. The judge is ruling at least on the injunction. And then once that gets decided out, it's going to go one of two ways. for us. So again, I don't have any more for you today on that specifically. 9/11, we're very, very excited to continue to be able to honor the 9/11, specifically for us, the fire service personnel, 343 that lost their lives in the towers coming down. For the community members and for dignitaries who want to attend that event at 9 o'clock, please get there a little bit early. Obviously, that's a congested area. We don't have a ton of parking. Most of the parking occurs at the location next door, the shopping centers and whatnot. So just be mindful of that as you're coming. Also, be mindful it is school hours, so you could have children out walking around, young people out walking around. So just be mindful to not be in a rush. Take your time getting there, leave early. And I think that's all I had. I was super impressed by that young man today with the skateboarding. Also, it offers an opportunity for you to get off the boxing and focus on something else. But what I was really impressed with is I think there are some sports or activities out there that can get a bad rap. For me, skateboarding was one that got attached to, quote unquote, some kids that were challenged. I couldn't be more impressed with that young man who not only honored his faith, but honored his parents. Mm-hmm. And so hats off to him for the 3 events that he won, and more importantly, hats off to him for what seemingly a standing young man he is. So that's all I have.
And congratulations to his parents. Excellent job. Thank you very much, Chief. Okay, with that, we will adjourn to our next meeting. There will be a workshop held on Tuesday, September 10th at 6 o'clock. Our next regular meeting will be held on Tuesday, September 7th, also at 6 o'clock with closed session starting no earlier than 4 if needed. With that, we are adjourned.